So it's Monday, June 20th, and I have not posted a upload in a while. And I know there's a few people out there that care or entertained by it or whatever. So, I'm sorry I've been behind. I was sick there for a few weeks and super busy, and basically the big change here on the cucumbers, I now got 3 cucumber plants. I took the 2 squash out and I moved them. And I decided the squash just weren't going to trellis right. Sorry, it's been a hot day. I can't even talk right. And I'm congested. But at any rate, they're doing pretty good. They didn't quite take off. And then I didn't get around to getting the right fertilizer for the cucumbers. And I went ahead and used the Miracle-Gro and they took off. Now, I did make a big mistake yesterday. I cracked this second one here because I got 4 plants, and in a way it's good because after I moved the squash, I put 2 of my little what would you call them, leaflets or whatever, cliplets. I put those 2 there, and of course they're going to be behind, so now it just kind of makes it aesthetically look a little better. And from what I've read, a lot of people have had success with this reshooting, so I guess it's not like a tomato plant where you break the stem and it's over, other than if you let any suckers go. But that's where they got moved. So these first 3 are those extra cucumbers. These next 3 are zucchini. And then that's where the 3 squash went. I didn't work the soil, just, where I dug. I used the potting soil. And they've been in for about a week. And they haven't exactly taken off. But I finally decided to Miracle-Gro those 2. So it'll be a good little test with unworked soil. I'm not expecting miracles, but it'll do something. I just couldn't let those 3 cucumbers go and didn't want to get rid of those squash. And my wife really wanted the zucchini, so we'll see. But that was a bear, man. That was a hot day getting all that cleaned up, fighting poison ivy. All the rocks that I still got to move to my rock garden, which I've never shown before. But yeah, I've been using this over there right now, so I'll probably start dosing those once a week. There's that poor little piece I cracked. It's shriveled up because it's been sitting here since yesterday. But at this point, let's see, this one's the pink brandywine. I'm 5'8", and its tallest point is probably to about my nose, maybe, between my nose and my mouth. I'm having these leaf curl up issues. It's been going on for about a week now. I initially was really, really worried about it. I didn't know if it was a nutrient thing or because of the excessive heat that we're having. But you know what? They're growing. Like literally this one right here was like probably here when that first started. And I mean, they're still growing. So I got faith. I'm holding out faith. There's a back view of the cucumbers. Too bad I was planning late in the season because that could have already maybe been up my trellis already. But yeah, I was fighting poison. I got sick, and then after I was sick, I cleaned all that up from here up until there. And I don't know if you could tell, but that gets pretty high. And it had a lot of trees growing in there, which I got drying out right there. I got a new Husqvarna chainsaw, a Pro Saw, and I can't wait to get out there and try it on that pile. I've been working on that pile for like a while now. That pile was huge. It used to be all that field of trees that used to look like that. And I'm getting to the end of it. But at any rate, I don't have any tomatoes starting on this one yet. I thought I had seen one earlier, but maybe not. But I definitely have spots starting. So that's a good sign. And then let's see, this one was the big boy. Got one starting there. Fertilizer wise, I almost was gonna back off on the 4 big plants and not do the Miracle Grow and just do the Master Blend. And then I'm like, I'm going to give it one more week. It's not that late in the season. My videos are supposed to be how to grow big tomatoes. Maybe some people would consider this big for these pots. But since last year I was able to get up to the top of that shutter, I want to try to do that again. But again, I had the advantage of starting them on a sunnier corner in the beginning of the season and then moving them here when it got hot. And because I'm trellising with the jute string, I didn't really have that option, unless if I wanted to have plants this big and fight getting them trellised. And I could have, but that would have been a lot of work. And it's just nice to have them grow from the trellis pretty much from early on. But let's see. I think that's the, we got clusters coming in, but I think that's the only one on that one. Oh, yeah, I didn't finish on the fertilizer. Now that I'm starting to get tomatoes, for the first time I doped them with the calcium nitrate. I'll show you a picture of how that looks. So I can't remember if I do once or twice, once a week or once every 2 weeks. It may have been once every 2 weeks. I'll put that in the caption. I'll have to review my notes on my first video, which is part of the reason I do this, for my own notes, to have my own reference. But the better boy, got one starting there. Got some clusters. Not exactly blowing up clusters, but they're not horrible. The better boy's gotten pretty decent in size. And then we got my two stragglers here that just don't seem to want to take off. And I don't blame it on the sun and the positioning, because I didn't have much of an issue last year. So that's the red beefsteak. But look at that, too. But I'll tell you what, if they're already starting to bear fruit, maybe they're not wanting to grow. And it's got some other clusters. I'm really wanting to prune these two branches right here, but on one hand they're so stunted that I don't want to take away any leaves that could, you know, give them respiration and help them to grow. And I also, they're still small enough, I don't want to shock them, you know. I just don't know. I might snip one off tomorrow and then wait 3 days and snip the other. We'll see. But man, that Cherokee purple's just definitely my Achilles tendon. Does not want to do anything this year. But we'll keep trying, you know. It's definitely was our smallest when we started, but cherry's doing pretty good. Right now it's bearing the most, but you know, cherries come in earlier anyways. But we got a nice cluster there. We got a nice cluster there. That week that it rained all week and I didn't get to do much pruning, this one shot out on the side. You know, it's funny how sometimes they shoot out and it's no issue, and other times like it can do something like that in a couple of days. I mean, that thing grew most of that in like a 2-day period, and then it's kind of slowed down. Super Sweet 100. But yeah, there's a cluster, quite a few clusters on there, and that's for my boys, so hopefully he'll have some cherries. I've been the most disappointed in the beans, those Kentucky beans. But in all fairness, I never fertilized them. But I mean, that's been a while now, and I had, you know, a time period where everything was kind of perfect weather-wise and humidity-wise, and this one grew like to about here, literally in 1 day. Like it grew from here to here in 1 day, and I thought, oh, we're on. Time for a bean party. But, you know, I hadn't fertilized them. And it's like, even though I got that potting soil, you know, that potting soil isn't technically supposed to be loaded up with fertilizer. It's supposed to be a blank canvas so you can do what you want to do with it. You know, now I got a bag from last year, and, you know, from sitting for a year and being warm and, you know, the decomposition process, it's kind of turned into more of a compact soil, and that probably has made its own beneficial nutrition, but this stuff really shouldn't. It's so fresh. But I'm hoping that maybe it's just because I haven't given them anything. And granted, the beans should not need nitrogen. They should be able to pull their own out, so I don't know why they're being so difficult. But we'll see. Last night was Sunday. It was Father's Day. That's why I didn't get a video done. It was kind of a busy day. It was even late. I was actually by flashlight giving them their fertilizer. I like to do that, you know, maybe half hour before the sun goes down, so it won't dry out right away and they get a nice, you know, night where they're getting hit with the fertilizer really good before it starts draining out. Back to that little nozzle right now. I got to get my soaker out on those 9 plants that I had over in the back there. But right now it's easier to just walk that back and forth to water them. Except for I can't stand up and water the tomato plants. I got to kind of crouch down and hold it just right. And, you know, I'm getting older, so I get to cry about my back. But yeah, right now that middle one is up to about there. So that's what, about 3 feet? Probably 2 if you count by, you know, where it's actually planted, which is where you would count. So they're kind of hanging in there. Sorry, it's just kind of a ramble video. I didn't really pre-plan it, but I got a job that I got to do, and now is when it gets so hot I start working nights because my shop does not have air conditioning. But I wanted to get this in there, and like I said, I'll probably edit this tomorrow, and I'll get some of the other stuff in there just so you can kind of see what it looked like a week ago and a week before that, and kind of talking about, you know, snipping the cucumbers and having them come alive and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm really happy to see these taken off. I mean, the Miracle-Gro has made more of a difference on these cucumbers than anything else. So, I mean, before I put the Miracle-Gro, and that's only been about a week. I think, if I remember right, last week's the first week I did that. It was up to like here. And I mean, I put that Miracle-Gro and it just shot in. It's to the point now where my wife and I walk away and come back an hour later and it's changed. I just really wish I didn't bust this one. This one was pretty close to the one on the right. But it was a couple inches shorter. And this one's been growing since yesterday, because I'm telling you, these are growing every day. Right now I'm level with my top tomato plant, and I bet by tomorrow we're going to be probably from here to about there. I mean, that's the kind of growth I've been getting. But that to me looks beautiful. That's what I love about trellises. Just looks beautiful. The more full it gets, the more beautiful it's going to get. And I want my beans to get that way. Sorry it's kind of sporadic and not well thought out. Hopefully starting next week I could get back on track and be more summarized, and I really want to show a week by week, either for people who are, you know, entertained, or people who are actually, you know, comparing their results to mine or whatever. I got like 20 people that seem to care, and I appreciate it. It's not about the money. I do it for fun, you know. I'm monetized on my channel, but I'm monetized because my channel's just big enough that even when I wasn't monetized, Google was rolling ads and taking all the money anyways. So literally, I had gotten monetized years ago, back when you didn't even have to apply, and they were just trying to get people to do it. They would just automatically start making an account for you and putting money in there. And I never claimed it. I never wanted it to be about money. You know, as soon as it's about money, there's a chance it's more disingenuous. And literally, there were like several hundreds of dollars that went into that account over the years. And then when I did monetize, I already had the account there. But thank you for watching this update.